Hey guys, what's up, my beautiful peeps? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Gifted Since 92, giving you guys the latest and exclusive content, a new music, entertainment, news, and inspiration posts by me, yours truly, the Queen is back. I'm going to finally, a girl finally is going to make this video. So we shall proceed, period. And I really thought about this for a long time because I was like, I grew up with B.E.T. Everybody, most people grew up with the network. And I think nowadays it's so lackluster, it's so disappointing. Um, and really, as I grew up, a lot of millennials, our generation, even the generation that came before us and the generation that came before us, and BT, it just felt like family, but at the same time, it felt like it wasn't just for the culture. It wasn't like that for the culture thing, which that'll be a different video. Because I thought about that and I said, yeah, the for the culture, I like it, but then I have a disdain for it. But that'll be a different video and check that out later on. But BT, the network had so many of the music and the culture, and I feel like it's the music and the culture. I don't feel like it's for the culture. For the culture, it's the culture because BT had its run for years, and we grew up with 116 Card, and we grew up with the reality shows, and even with music. This is why this nostalgia needs to come back, period. It has to come back. BT, there needs to be a lot of changes in the future. And people who watch this video, feel free to have your honest thoughts and opinions. Don't be afraid to come on here and be like, listen, Gibson Since 92 loves to see people's different opinions and perspectives. So we can see why and how BT has declined in so many ways. I feel it had just went to sunk the bottom of the ocean. Period. It went like, and I grew up as a child, especially because I'm a music lover, like going to watch 116 Park. That's how musicians were able to promote their albums, promote their singles. The fans had like the access, up close and personal to get to engage in a positive and engage in a way where the fan experience really became a fulfillment. And there was a sense of, I would say, music brought people together. Okay, so I'll always watch 116 Park, and I always would pretty much after school, 6 o'clock p.m. But that was pretty much a daily routine, and especially like for music lovers, I pretty much really feel because of all the BS and all the changes in BT would have really, for this generation of music lovers, 116 Park would have been still relevant. But even though if it may not be 116 Park, it would be a new music platform, right? And then watching the countdown. And even like I said, people like I said, most of my favorite artists, like most of them I grew up listening to their music. I grew up, seeing the interviews and seeing how their personalities, and look, being a fan is okay, there's nothing wrong. But it's like just seeing how they're able to pursue their dreams in music. And it's good to really have that connection with the artist that you like, that you love, that you're starting to fill out. But at the same time, it's like, to me, it felt like, wow, regardless that I'm not at 116 Park, because that show was hosted where I believe it was hosted in New York. Yeah, I believe it was hosted in like New York. And the fans who were actually able to get the opportunity to go and see the live performances, see the backstage passes, the new exclusive content, even the music video premieres. And this is why the nostalgia needs to bring back, because a lot of times as fans, I notice it's a lot of the new generation. They're using the social media a lot, but it's too much. It's too much. This social media is supposed to be used for certain things that's promoting music. But 116 Park was like social media, really, and it really was, and it really was bigger than social media. You just had to, watch it on TV. But to really see how these artists, how they develop, and how they really bring in their own enigma and their flavor, and really change the game of music, and brought a new sound, a new wave, a new style. And it was okay that musicians were able to be different, unique. Now, also the BET Awards, which I always have really, really loved the BET Awards because it really pretty much became a huge vessel in black culture and music. And to see, especially the rising stars of black musicians, the women, the men, the women solo artists, the men solo artists, the women girl groups, the men boy groups. So pretty much BT, it was a lot of that showmanship. I also witnessed a lot of really great live performances. And I think the issue that I'm dealing with, these new crop of artists that really have it, they got to get so selfish now. I understand there's things that we as fans we don't have control over, but I really think that BT can really do a lot of changing now. They need to change. They need to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, we had a balance. We had the music videos, we had the music platforms, we had the movies, the film, we had the reality shows. So even like a lot of that stuff, the reality shows like College Park, I watched that. Um, Also, we had like the TV sitcoms, like what would be playing on BT a lot? I'm trying to really, really think. I can't because my mind, guys, I have good memory, but sometimes I don't remember a lot of things. So it happens. So if I go back and trigger my memory, if it gets triggered, I will elaborate on this video. But it was so much of that really nice enigma. It was really, really, really nice, and it had so much of a very, it's really pretty much BT. We don't really, to be honest, this is the current state of BT. We have I see what people are going for, because it's really just everything put together. It's just thrown everything. There's a whole bunch of new sitcoms. There's a whole bunch of new whatever's this and that. Yeah, you want to get into a brand new thing, but it doesn't have the authenticity. It doesn't. It does not have quality. There's no top tier. There's something maybe here and there a little bit, but it's not. It doesn't have quality to it. It doesn't. And plus, like these dang on live apps and everything. Not everything has to have an app. And I kind of think that's another thing for technology too nowadays. BT, I don't know their production, the people that work there and listen. This is my opinion. This is not a bashing BT network video. And like I said, it is not period. This is just what I've observed. Then the BT Awards. The BT Awards are like people years ago was very excited. And I feel this is the reason why BT will always be one of the spectacular award shows, period, even though it went downhill. But let's talk about when BET was really, really, really like popping, not because they had quality, substance, different musicians, authenticity, bringing in like even up and coming new artists, musicians. They were able to book stages. They were able to really get themselves on the BET red carpet. Their managers, their publicists. So even also the BET Awards live red carpet, the pre-show, I always loved and I enjoyed watching the pre-show because I got to see up and coming new talented musicians, the live performances. They get to, promote their new album, their new single. And like I said, the ones, it doesn't matter. But then, like I said, like I said, even a little bit years later, get to go on the main stage, the big stage. So it's really cool to see the the musicians. They really got all of that. The issue is, it ain't like it was no more. It's not. We got a lot of these, and I know BET is into like that social media thing, but it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. We got to get back to a balance. And I feel the BET Awards, and people kind of they also, even years ago, they underestimate the BET Awards because it was very difficult for Black musicians to get themselves on like mainstream the mainstream award shows, or they say like the more of the white um, award shows. I personally feel, and I understand, because people try to, even some of the toxic, the toxic Black community at times have, you know, threw BT on the bus at times years ago, where when it did have authenticity and substance, but it's like, well, it's not a big deal, you know, it's not as big. Mainstream radio, mainstream award shows like MTV, music television, the VMAs, um, or even different races, doesn't even matter. I just feel like it's a whole little bit of like a melting pot. I'll say a melting pot, because I don't want to be like biased, but people have underestimated BET in ways. They have. Soul Train Awards. I love the Soul Train Awards because Soul Train Awards been around for years, and the history of it, and great things have happened with the Soul Train Awards, because Soul Train Awards always, they bring a game. So the Soul Train Awards, they come out every blue moon. So I think BET now, BET, instead, because it, like I said before, it was every year. Before, years ago, it was amazing, but it started this new movement, this new horticulture, this new, I would say, social media sensation thing, instead of focusing on the music and the culture. You get my drift. Instead of focusing on what is very important in music and culture. And music brings people together. So I'm thinking, well, BT will get more, step up to the plate, and really continue to, set the bar high, because the network has before. But it's like, I would say, after 2015, I think after 2015, it went boom, the bottom of the ocean. And I feel done went all the way down in a sunken ship, all the way, all the way down. And we don't really, like I said, I feel like now people not really excited. I even noticed like people on Twitter, how people, they like being on Twitter, they engage with the musicians and artists, which is nothing wrong. But I feel that even listening to different people's opinions and feedbacks, I feel what needs to happen, BT just need to go on hiatus for a little bit. And every blue moon, unless they sit down with new people, new executives, new people, marketing strategies, unless they sit down and they say, well, we're going to have to come through every single year like it has happened before. Or there's another option that's positive. We can, if that seems like it can't happen, you need to do it every blue moon, like the Soul Train Awards, because same, like I said, every time the Soul Train Awards be coming into fruition, everything is snatching, everything is going up and down a great way, everything left and right. It's like a fireball. It's like that hurricane. Everybody is snatching left and right. They pretty much, because really, and then even for up and coming new talented musicians on the rise, who they don't really get enough promotion, and they don't get enough support. And then unfortunately with this social media climate, it done went downhill. It's very, very, very terrible. There is nothing cool about, like I said, bombarding your favorite artists about when the music gonna come out. Yeah, the music gonna come out when it's gonna come out. But it's like at the same time, I feel that there should be different music avenues in a positive way for these musicians to get on. Because I don't really feel, I don't feel, as far as BET, as I'm concerned, they even, like I said, certain artists have been biased, not been biased, but that like people have overlooked artists, that do have the talent, that do have the work ethic. But BET also sometimes they cater to like every single time. It's a popularity contest. Even the BET Awards, the freaking award list has gotten so drastically terrible, period. Because I'm like, wait a minute, okay, we have best female solo artist, best male solo artist, um, and then the groups. And don't get me started. The best female girl groups, the best male groups, man, they are nowhere to be found, except for, no disrespectful. Because when I think of a group, I'm thinking not just a rap group, but that, how people, they want girl groups to come back, boy groups to come back. And they have to freaking put always these daggone mumble rappers in a daggone group. And I'm sick of it, period. Okay? Get them a different daggone category. Because I see them as a group, but not how people try to make it seem like, no. I'm sick of it, period. I am sick of it. So I think that also comes to how BET pretty much could get more. I mean, it's not going to be a long video because I don't want to, like I said, I'm not going to just drag through the video, but I'm just feel like it's so sad because BET, since the huge impact and influence, BET just going to have to really go back to the drawing board, get new ideas, get creative. It's okay to take a break and come back rolling, period. It's all right. Because the more I think about it, I just don't really feel that if this keeps going the route it's going, people are going to lie. They're not going to even be interested in. They're not going to be interested in BT anymore. They're not. They're not going to be interested in BT no more. They're not. They're not. And who knows? This year, the BT Awards is supposed to come out right now. I haven't been watching the B. I didn't watch the BT Awards last year. No, I didn't. Um, do I look forward watching it this year? It depends. It depends. The performers, you know, really, I've always have looked forward for the performers. That's it. The awards, they're cool. They're a bonus, but I've always have looked forward for the dang on freaking performers. Yeah. I've always have. I was like, yo, who's gonna be performing? Who? But that's the thing. So I think that a lot of times too, as social media is still on the rise, and people still, like I said, they still engage with their, fan base as fans. I personally feel that fans would just gonna have to fall back a little bit and just detox. So um, they're people that you know we really want to see. We really want to see some real talent, nostalgia bring back. Period. We really do. We really do. So, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts and opinions? BT needs a revamp. BT needs to get it popping again. And let me know down below if anything that you feel, are you into marketing, media marketing, social media, whatever. Let your girl know down below. That's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. And with that being said, guys, stay tuned on the next episode. Give Since 92. Like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button. And as always, stay tuned on the next episode of Give Since 92. Dragon Ball Z narrative reference. Peace. Bye bye. Your girl's editing out. This Super Saiyan is out.